I'd like to share a poem with you this evening that's entitled Meet Me in the Stairwell. You say you will never forget where you were when you heard the news on September 11th, 2001. Neither will I. I was on the 110th floor in a smoke-filled room with a man who called his wife to say goodbye. I held his finger steady as he dialed. I gave him peace to say, honey, I'm not going to make it, but it's okay. I'm ready to go. I was with his wife when he called as she fed breakfast to their children. I held her up as she tried to understand his words and as she realized he wasn't coming home that night. I was in the stairwell of the 23rd floor when a woman cried out to me for help. I've been knocking on the door of your heart for 50 years, I said. Of course I will show you the way home. Only believe in me now. I was at the base of the building when the chaplain ministering to the injured and devastated souls. I took him home to tend to his flock in heaven. He heard my voice and answered. I was on all four of those planes in every seat with every prayer. I was with the crew as they were overtaken. I was in the very hearts of the believers there, comforting them and assuring them that their faith has saved them. I was in California, Texas, Kansas, New York, London, France. I was standing next to you when you heard the terrible news. Did you sense me? I want you to know that I saw every face. I knew every name, though not all know me. Some met me for the very first on the 86th floor. Some sought me for their last breath. Some couldn't hear me calling to them through smoke and flame. Come to me, this way, take my hand. Some chose for the final time to ignore me, but I was there. I did not place you in the tower that day. You may not know why, but I do. However, if you were there in that explosive moment in time, you would have reached for me. September 11th, 2001 was not the end of the journey for you. Someday your journey will end, and I will be there for you as well. Seek me now while I may be found. Then, at any moment, you know you are ready to go. I will be in the stairwell of your final moments. I am Jesus Christ, the righteous one.
Thank you, Fred. We would like to recognize our local heroes. I ask that all military personnel, current, former, retired, please stand. I would like to ask the spouse of all military personnel, current, former, retired, please stand. Let's give them a round of applause. We salute you. You may be seated. To the local military heroes, we will be lighting a candle in their honor. These are the ones which have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Sadly, the numbers are too great to call each one out by name. But we honor your memory, and we know what you have done for your country, your family, and your community. And we know of the lives that you have saved and you have fought to save. Your lives were not in vain. May God bless your family and your friends that you have fought so hard. Thank you, Jack. To all our local firefighter heroes, our EMS, our rescue, our first responders, we ask that all current firefighters, EMS, rescue, and first responders, please stand. We ask that the spouse of all of our firefighters, EMS, rescue, and first responders, please stand. We thank you for what you do for us each and every day. Every time 911 calls come out, you guys are our heroes. Thank you. You may be seated. We only have one name to call today, but we call those that have gone on. We do not have all the names because some of these died years later as a result of being involved in hazardous material smoke. As a result of an injury that they occurred while answering their call for help. So at this time, we would like to recognize Chief Russell Dellinger, Collinsville Fire Department, end of watch, 11/19/1984, heart attack while training. We would like to ask all of our law enforcement personnel, current, former, and retired, please stand. We would like to ask the spouse of all of our law enforcement personnel, current, former, retired, please stand. Thank you for your service. We would also like to ask the children of those which have paid the supreme sacrifice and family members to please stand in their recognition as well for our local law enforcement personnel. Please stand. Thank you. The names are as follows. Lenoir Police Department, Officer Frank William Watson, end of watch, April 6, 1969, gunfire. Officer Howard Chadwick Sullivan, end of watch, September 7, 1955. Result, motorcycle accident. Officer David Crawford Farthing, end of watch, June 22nd, 1954, struck by a vehicle and killed. Caldwell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Leonard C. Goebel, end of watch, June the 2nd, 1934, gunfire. Caldwell County Sheriff's Office, Adam W. Flutz, End of watch. September 19th, 2008, gunfire. Sheriff Madison Estes died in office 1903. Sheriff Ray Moore died in office 1972. Sheriff Paul Goebel died in office 1976. Sheriff Gary Clark died in office February the 2nd, 2007. May these officers forever rest in peace. We thank you for paying the supreme sacrifice. While we are standing, let us please observe a moment of silence as we reflect upon the sacrifice that our military, our fire, our EMS, our first responders, and our rescue and our law enforcement has paid. Please. Thank you. You may be seated.